hell's going on here? Why am I in this weird kid's room? What the hell? What the hell's going on? Seriously, I don't know why I'm in this kid's room for some reason. I guess all I can say is I'm Batman. And I'm here to drink a Diet Coke. Just for the taste of it. Tastes like 90s. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do here. Oh god, there we go. Yeah, just bought this today. Hey guys, what's up? It's Big Jack Heron. Holy crap, the comments are going like crazy. Just put my glasses here. Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, guys, welcome to this live stream. I know it's been a while. Well, it's been a week actually since I've done one of these. In answer to your question, in terms of the costume, here's the thing. So, like, lately I've been on kind of a bat kick lately, and I am currently building a Tim Burton Batman cosplay, hence the opening of this video. So, yeah, basically it's just, I just bought this cowl. It's a really nice cowl. It's about maybe $50, $60 at a local costume store. Perfect for the Burton Batman. And this fabric, which I am currently wearing, is actually literally like 4 meters of fabric that I'm going to be modifying into a proper bat cape. So that's what's going to be happening. Oh my god, I should have made that joke! Diet Coke! Diet Coke! But yeah, so I'm currently working on that, and now I'm just wearing a sweater. So, but yeah, I will be working on this cosplay of Batman for the 30th anniversary of the classic Tim Burton film, starring Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson as the Joker. But yeah, so I'm currently working on that. And yeah, so that's what's been happening for the last maybe week. I've been on kind of a bat kick. I've watched Batman 89, and I've been really watching a lot of Batman Returns. And you know what? I like Batman Returns. I don't care what people say. I love Batman Returns. That is the darkest Batman ever got, and fuck the parents who complained about it. That was the best Happy Meal ever. Oh god, it's gonna be nothing but Batman quotes. A mind of a man makes a movie. What? This town needs an enema. Oh god, yeah, fuck, I love Batman 89. I love Batman Returns too, JT is Reborn. It's probably one of my favorite Batman movies. I mean, I like at least the first 3 consistent 90s ones. Batman Forever I just put on the side as its own thing. But I do like Batman 89, Batman Returns. God damn it, you know what, I posted this on Twitter. But because the 30th anniversary, and also if you guys have seen that Whatever It Takes music video, that's a dedication to the original first 2. Anybody want Tim Burton to come back as Batman, or like Tim Burton to come back and do a 3rd Batman movie just for the shits and giggles? I mean, not and completely ignoring Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, but like do a proper sequel. You get Michael Keaton back, you get Billy D. Williams back, you get Michelle Pfeiffer back, and you just do a proper sequel that takes place like 30 years later. I would like Batman Beyond even. Like I would love to see that. I mean, I like the Dark Knight trilogy, don't get me wrong, but I do appreciate the first 2 Burton movies because those were my childhood. I mean, technically the first thing I ever watched Batman-wise was the 60s TV show with my dad on the Space Channel every afternoon at 5:30. So Adam West was my first Batman, and this is a great story. Funny enough, I had actually met him a year before he passed away. He and Burt Ward were at Fan Expo Canada, and I actually they didn't really have much of a line, so I got to talk to Adam West and Burt Ward for a couple of minutes, and they were really, really nice. And I just told them, you know, you guys brought me and my dad closer together. So they said they get a lot of that, but they were really appreciative. So I'm always going to be grateful that I got to meet Adam West and Burt Ward. I'd love to meet Burt again because Burt's a really nice guy, but Adam was just total gentleman, total nice guy. I'm really glad I got to meet basically Adam West, one of my favorite Batmans, essentially. No. What does it say? Seeing you talk about King Kong 20, you're saying the script isn't the Bible. No, did I write what's the name of this live stream? Because I can't even remember. That was supposed to be a quote from the documentary on Batman '89 where they say a script is just a blueprint, which is totally true. A script is a blueprint. You know, it's not the finished product. I just want to make sure I didn't misspell that. Okay, hold up. I think I'm on the wrong thing. Let me just switch channels here. I'm using my phone on my accounts and everything. Okay, so yeah, a script isn't a blueprint. It's not the Bible or whatever. It's just a blueprint. It doesn't like match up. Yeah, I mean, it's a script is a blueprint. I love that, by the way. I love how I just make people like, what the hell? Why is Batman here? But yeah, so it's also because the reason I'm doing this cosplay is because we are working on a review of '89, and we're getting heavily into pre-production. I'm talking with people about certain props we need, certain actors, makeup, and we're going to be doing this amazing tribute to Batman '89. That's supposed to come out around June for the 30th anniversary. So definitely look forward to that. We're in the middle of pre-production. I've also been working on storyboards for that as well. I've been getting into storyboards and pre-production on that and Star Wars. I know actually this Friday I'm going to be putting out a review of something I'm hitting at that will come out Friday or tomorrow night. There will be a review of a certain film that just came out on Netflix. That's all I'm going to say. But if you saw my picture, that might give you a hint. It's a pretty crazy opening night, but that's happening. Also, in some good news, I am almost done the Rampage review. You can probably expect that. Where is it sitting on my calendar? I just got a new calendar. Hold up. And yes, this is a confrontation send-off salute thing that I got off eBay that was used to close down the ride. Anyway, yeah, expect the Rampage review. I'd say around January 25th is when Jesus Christ, Kong, stay down. Anyway, expect the Rampage review around January 25th. That'll be a Friday, and I'll be putting it up there. But we're almost done. I just have to finish up the second half of the video. I'm about two-thirds in. I'm going to be doing that, and then going to be doing a little post-credit scene. It's going to hint at for later videos, but that will be the first big review of this year, so expect that on the 25th of January. So we're making up good time. So that's been happening. Oh my god. Okay, enough with the fucking Bird Box challenge. It's so fucking dumb. Enough with the fucking Bird Box challenge. How about this? How about this? How about the Bat Box challenge? How about going around dressing up as Batman and take a Batman mask and see how long you last in that fucking thing? Oh my god, I'm so sick of this Bird Box challenge. You know what we called it back in the day? Pin the table on the donkey. Okay? Oh my god. I'm so sick. What? I don't understand it. I don't get it. I get it's a movie and when people are replicating it, but it's so fucking dumb. I mean, it's as dumb as the fucking planking. It's as dumb. I mean, the only one that's kind of less dumb is the fucking dabbing. But aside from that, like, no, just like Bird Box challenge. What's a fucking cinnamon challenge and fucking. Oh my god, why are kids so stupid today? I mean, you guys are awesome, but why is today's society of this generation of children so dumb? I swear to God. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's been happening. So you're gonna expect a new opening night this week, tomorrow. You're gonna actually be seeing a reissue of my Jaws the Revenge review also tomorrow because if you guys don't know, the reason I re-uploaded the Jaws 3D review and why I'm re-uploading Jaws the Revenge is because it did get dinged for a copyright claim by Universal, and I think it was probably because they just didn't like the review. They thought it was pretty bad. Well, it was pretty negative to both films, but I mean, Universal and we've been kind of like cool. We've been cool. I think they support my stuff most of the time, but I am re-uploading them just to get some monetization because, yeah, we've been a little low, and we're trying to like reissue them so they can like be out, so we can get monetization. So I just have to change them a little bit, but yeah, expect that at some time. Kaiju Network, just do it on your channel. I think because you've already got enough subscribers, just do it on your own channel. It's perfectly fine. Save time. Try to stick to one channel. I mean, for me, when I was running 2 channels, it was a nightmare. It was a pain in the ass, and I just said, screw it. I want it all on one channel, so I want all my work monetized. That's what I would do. Oh god, not the pickle challenge. I don't know what that is, but it sounds terrible. It sounds terrible. Unless you're like doing something where you have to eat the pickles. I don't mind pickles. I think pickles are delicious. I don't know what's wrong with people. But yeah, like that's the thing. Like all these challenges, man, are so dumb. They're so fucking stupid. How about a proper challenge? How about something a little bit more nicer? How about something like the no cry challenge? That's one I came up with. No cry challenge is when you have to sit through a movie that you know will make you cry, and you have to sit through it and not cry. If you start crying, you lose the challenge. There you go. Like I did that. I did that a while ago. I did that like 2 years ago. I did the no cry challenge where I watched the scene where Widow Tweed or whatever, she takes Todd the fox from Fox and Adam, takes him back into the woods. Good Lord, that hurts. God damn, that hurts. No, because there's something about animal movies or some movies like that. Once the fucking harmonica starts playing, it's like, yeah, but try that. Try do the no cry challenge where you know a film that makes you cry and you have to sit through that scene where you know it's gonna hit you, and you cannot break. You cannot break. You cannot cry. There's your challenge. It's proper. It's fun. It's not harmful. I mean, aside emotional trauma, but it's fine. Try that. Don't do any of this planking shit where you're gonna get hurt. It's so fucking dumb. And there's my rant for the night. I'm so sick of these dumbass challenges. They're so stupid. Okay, so yeah, that's what's been happening this week. Basically getting the Rampage review done, opening night tomorrow night, as well as Jaws the Revenge. And aside from that, there's also Road War Month we just started on Mondays with Bradley Dunn. Those are coming out. Those are reissues of some of his old videos. Those are coming soon. And we're going to start production on our Valentine's Day special soon. I'm still looking around for people casting-wise that are in our local areas that are willing to help out. So expect that in February. So that's what's happening. I know the challenges are dumb. 17. I know. It's funny because okay, so Android 17 past version. He's been on my chats for a while. Really great guy. Him and Queen 18. So it's like it feels like the characters are in the chat, which is hysterical. So yeah, dude, 17. Those challenges are dumb. Like, can you do something about it, man? Can you tell these kids to fuck off or something? I don't know. Go destroy a building before Trunk shows up. I have no idea. If you can, get Queen 18 on here. Get Queen 18 on here if you can. That'd be great if she's available. But anyway, so yeah, that's it. Let's go to the question board. Holy shit. Okay, I'm getting mixed opinions on here, Eric. People are saying Godzilla Planet Eater is bad. People are saying it's good. I have not seen any of the Godzilla animes yet. Again, is it on Netflix now? Is the last one on Netflix? Because if that's the case, then I'll probably just watch them all the way through. Just watch them all at once and then give my opinion on it. There'll be an opening night, aside from King of the Monsters. But yeah, definitely, I do want to check those out. Bat Queen Forever. I love that name. Bat Queen Forever, Mr. J. I love the cameo of James Rolfe at the end of the King Kong fan film review. Yeah, that's interesting because a lot of people are probably wondering how the hell I was able to pull that off. Well, anyway, I'll get to the point of that. So, if you guys don't know, James Rolfe has appeared on my show before in the King Kong video games episode. Now, the way that happened was it was during the convention adventure at Nickel City Comic Con. And I had basically wanted to see James for a while. I wanted to give him a copy of the movie because he helped participate in that, because we saw him in Buffalo once. And then we also saw him in frickin' at Con Bravo. So I only bumped into him twice. But around the time we went to Nickel City Comic Con, we knew he was going to be there. So he was right across the border. So me and Josh went down there. We went and met him. I gave him a copy of the movie. And he knew who I was immediately, because at the time we went there, we were both basically doing our Kong reviews. I was doing season 3. He was doing his Kong-a-thon. And he immediately knew who I was. He's like, hey, I knew you. You're the King Kong guy. I knew you. I'm like, I was only like Deadpool. I was like, oh, he knows who I am. It was a great experience. So we were just having a great conversation. Got to know each other a bit more because I'd known him before, actually. Met him at a con in Buffalo. But anyway, so we had been talking, and, I said, you want to do this cameo on this episode? I said, yeah, sure. So he does the cameo for the video games episode, which was great. So around September, when I was prepping the mid-season finale, I did want to have him on board, and I wrote that in the script. So I contacted James through email, probably expecting nothing, because he's a very busy guy, very busy man. He's doing the Angry Video Game Nerd. He's doing a ton of videos. Probably won't have the time of day to even answer his email, because I've seen the Cinemassacre mailbags. But I sent him an email saying, hey, it's the guy met at the con. We've met a couple times on the con guy on YouTube. Really appreciate all your support you've given me. Would you like to do a cameo on my mid-season finale? So I sent him that email, and I expected nothing. And then maybe like 3 weeks later, I heard back from him, and he said, dude, I'd love to do it, but I'm busy with the holidays, which was fine. But I wanted to see, like, if he could at least do maybe an audio cameo. And he said, you know what? I'll do it, which was great, right? I really appreciated of him. So again, thank you, James. So I sent him the script bit. So he comes at, so basically we're going in blank, we're going in with the idea that if he doesn't show up, we should have a backup plan. So we shot both the ending that we expected with James and the backup. And the first thing I edited was the backup, and it was rendered. It was ready to go on the Friday before New Year's. And then Wednesday, the day I rendered it, I got an email back from him, and he sent me not only the audio, but he sent me the footage. And I'm like, that's awesome, but I gotta go back and edit last minute changes. So that's why that episode was delayed to New Year's Day, or New Year's Eve, was because we had to do that last minute change. So we did the change. We got it edited down at the 11th hour. We actually, the day we got the Friday or the Saturday, Josh and Brad came up. And lucky enough, it was a very warm day, and we went back to the bridge and we did reshoots just to match what we had with the audio and video. So we did some reshoots, and then we just cut it that night and edited it, and we just slapped it on YouTube, and that's how that cameo came about. So once again, I had to thank Cinemassacre and James Rolfe immensely for the cameo and all the support he's given us here at the channel. We were inspired to come on YouTube because of James. Because you gotta remember, James and everybody at Cinemassacre, they were the pioneers of not only the gaming industry on YouTube, but also just in terms of just like the reviewing. Like, no AVGN Net, no Nostalgia Critic, no Movie Bob, no Toby Goldmark, no Linkara. It all stemmed from him. So he is a huge pioneer. So we've been watching him since 2006 when he started, even back when Google Video was a thing. And he's really one of the main reasons I got into monster movies, into like more Godzilla stuff. I got more into Kong, essentially. He's also the reason I got into the Universal Monsters. I loved Monster Madness. So he was a huge inspiration for me to really get into that shit. And I can't thank him enough for that. So the fact that I can get recognition and support from the person who really got things going here on YouTube, really got the common YouTuber stuff going on here, I tip my hat off to you, man. And the fact we get support from somebody like that is incredible, and I'm always grateful for that. So thank you, James. That was amazing. Yeah, and that's the thing. I was surprised how many people were emotional with the ending. I was just telling it from my perspective. With the original ending to the episode. So it was just interesting to kind of like see people's reaction, realize like I heard some people were crying. I heard some people were like really emotional about it. Like that ending also spoke to them, because I think that's what I was going for, especially with James, is that it wasn't just speaking to me personally. It wasn't just speaking to somebody for guidance, but it was also meant to be told to you guys as well. It wasn't just James's message. It wasn't just my message. It was like, to me, this was all a message to you guys who really stood out and really supported the channel for us this whole time. Also, by the way, I don't know if it's working right now, but I think you can now do super chat now. We have super chat on the channel now. So if you guys want to like do stuff on super chat and send us some donations, that'd be great, and we'll be definitely appreciate it. But we got Super Chat going, which is a major plus. So if you guys want to donate, it's right there while we're at it. But yeah, so that was great. But yeah, there's the question. There's the whole story about the James Rolfe cameo at the end. I'll probably get more into it into a commentary at some point down the road. But I do really thank James immensely for all he's done for the channel and helping us out. Great guy, by the way. Really nice guy. So let's see. Holy crap. Okay. Chaos Sonic 25 asks, who do you think should play Nightwing or Robin in the DCEU? I had answered this question before in Let's Talk on a CW live-action Batman series, or how to cast Batman in general. And I think the person who should play Robin, it should be a young kid. And the person I would choose is the older brother in Jurassic World. I can't remember what his name is. He's the kid who looks like one of the guys from Smosh. But I would like him to play Robin, because I think he'd be pretty good at that. I think he'd be a really good Robin, because I always think Robin should be a young boy wonder, and then once he turns like 18 or 19 or 20 or whatever, he becomes Nightwing, which was kind of the mistake in Batman Forever. It should have started with Nightwing, in my opinion. Gavin Fitzgerald says, will you review the Lord of the Rings films? I do at some point want to review them, because I've been actually on a goal of building a cosplay group for the entire Fellowship of the Ring. I've built all the costumes myself, and I do want to review Lord of the Rings at some point. So hopefully, maybe sometime, we'll do it for the 20th anniversary. We'll take a look at the entire, not just Lord of the Rings, but we'll take a look at the entire Middle-earth saga, because that's something I do want to discuss, is all 6 Middle-earth films, because those are some real emotional films for me and some of my personal favorite films of all time. Hey Jack, do you know Ed, Edd n Eddy's turned 20 years old? Oh my god, I feel so fucking old. Okay, so Ed, Edd n Eddy was essentially my favorite show on Cartoon Network. It is a great series. Really wish there was a revival, but not in the Powerpuff Girls sense, that's where it sucked. But like, get the original creators, original voice actors, and just come back and do like another season, or even a movie just for the hell of it. Like, I'd love to see more of what they did. But I just recently watched the Ed, Edd n Eddy Big Picture Show, and it kind of ended pretty nicely for the series. I think it really was a nice cap to the series of how everybody eventually accepted the Eds as friends, as nice people. I mean, they treated them like shit the whole show, didn't fall for their bullshit, but they saw the charm in these guys and really supported what they did. So I really like that. I think I watched that for the 20th anniversary because I'd never seen it fully, and I really enjoyed it. It was a great cap off movie to the series. So that was from my perspective. Zilla Universe asks, what are your favorite Tim Burton films? Okay, that's a good list. So, my personal favorite Tim Burton film, surprisingly, is not Batman or Batman Returns. It's Edward Scissorhands. As a kid, Edward Scissorhands scared the shit out of me, and most Tim Burton movies did. But I think Edward Scissorhands is his magnum opus. It is the best film he made. It's an emotional story. The characters are great while being one-dimensional. A great score by Danny Elfman. It's a very haunting film. It's pretty much Frankenstein, essentially. It's a Frankenstein movie, but with Johnny Depp as Frankenstein, and with a little bit of Back to the Future, because, like, the fucking bully motherfucker, the bad boyfriend cliche, which I love in films, the Jacques boyfriend who's an asshole. It's Biff. It's Biff from Back to the Future. But I really love Edward Scissorhands. That's my favorite Tim Burton movie. Second place would definitely be Batman and Batman Returns. I tied them as the second best because they're a continuous story. I love the first 2 Batmans. Third place? You know, this is going to be surprising. I love Corpse Bride. I actually find Corpse Bride to be better than Nightmare Before Christmas because I feel it's a better story, it's better characters, it's more drama, it's emotional characters. The animation is stunning, and it's a very beautiful film. But I consider probably Corpse Bride to be my third favorite Tim Burton film. Fourth place? This is where it gets tricky. I think fourth place would be Ed Wood, and I only just discovered that recently, and I think it's one of the best making of movies out there. If you want a film that'll kind of teach you a little bit of the aspects and get you influenced to make movies, I highly recommend Ed Wood. Ed Wood is number 4 for me as my personal favorite Tim Burton film. Number 5. 5 is where it gets tricky, my friends. Because there's a couple I haven't seen. I haven't seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I haven't seen Beetlejuice, surprisingly, but I know a lot of people want me to take a look at Beetlejuice. I watched the cartoon a lot. I love the cartoon. I love the live show at Universal Studios, but I've never seen the full movie. Planet of the Apes sucked. That was one of the worst ones. That's when Tim Burton started to go downhill. I'm trying to think what other Tim Burton movies I liked. Because, like, Alice in Wonderland I liked when it came out, but then it's just kind of really aged poorly. Dumbo I'm curious about only because of the pink elephant scene, because I want to see what the fuck Tim Burton could come up with. I like Nightmare Before Christmas, but I don't watch it often. I mean, I like it, but I don't like it often. But the fifth one's Mars Attacks I've only seen once, and I found it very boring. I found it a very boring film. The aliens look cool, but I found it a very boring movie. I liked Frankenweenie, only because Gamera was at the end. But again, I'm not the biggest Gamera fan, but just giant stop-motion kaijus are great. Oh, God, this is tough. This is a very tough choice. What is my fifth favorite Tim Burton movie? Guess I kind of like Sleepy Hollow. I'll have to decide that, but at least there's your top four. I haven't seen Big Fish, GT. I haven't seen Big Fish, but I'm more of a fan of the Tim Burton, the scary Tim Burton stuff. I like all the stuff where he's scary. All his dramatic films are just meh, but I like everything that's scary and kind of spooky, that Halloween or Christmas feel. I love it. You know what? I know Black Christmas is a cult classic, and I don't know if they remade it or not. Can we get Tim Burton to direct Black Christmas, like a remake of that? Because at least then he could do his freaky deaky Tim Burton gothic shit, but with Christmas, so it's appropriate. Because back when Tim Burton was doing things like back in the 90s where it was scary Christmas movies, I like that Tim Burton. That shit's awesome. But that's just me, essentially. In terms of what I would like to see Tim Burton do, I want him to make another Batman. I feel like enough time has passed where people are more accepting to Batman and Batman Returns that they would be, and because DC is starting to go away from the cinematic universe formula, which failed, they're trying to just do their own movies. They should do another Batman with Tim Burton and Michael Keaton, and Billy D. Williams can come back as Two-Face. You could have new villains, which would be great. You finally do Brad Dourif as fucking Scarecrow, which would be amazing. But in terms of like what other things could Burton do? Okay, I actually mentioned this in my Let's Talk About Live Action Anime Directing. I actually really want to see him or Robert Zemeckis direct a Rosario vampire movie. That would be pretty solid with Tim Burton's creepy atmosphere, maybe some Robert Zemeckis Back to the Future humor. That'd be a great movie, a great anime series to adapt. But for me, that's what I would do. But there's my Tim Burton rant. Yeah, they did remake Black Christmas. Okay. Kaiju Network asks, when is your film's audio commentary coming out? That's coming out in March. I do have a few things planned for Kong in March as usual, but I'm going to be working on those next month. I'm going to be working on a ton of videos for that. So some new behind the scenes, commentaries, and so on. Those are going to be most of this year of Kong related stuff. There's not going to be many reviews, but there will be Kong related material coming out. What do you think about Tim Burton as the director of a remake of The Creature in the Black Lagoon? I'd be okay with that. I don't know how he would be able to do it. I think if anything, they actually already did Creature in the Black Lagoon. Guillermo del Toro directed The Shape of Water. That's your Creature remake, essentially. Let's see here. Ike Studio says, if you had to get rid of one Kong film, not including King of the Apes or the ripoffs, which would you get rid of? Make it tough. I think if I had to get rid of any of the Kong films. Oh, this is tough. This is very tricky. This is tough. Why do you do this today? Oh, because, okay, there's one I would, but because I'm friends with some people who worked on it, I'm iffy to say. I would have to say King Kong Escapes. I mean, I respect all the actors involved, but it's not the best Kong movie. It's one of the lower ones. But for me, it would probably be King Kong Escapes. No offense to the Toho to people at Toho and people who are fans of those movies, but King Kong Escapes is the one I probably disgrace. Batcoin Forever asks, have I ever seen any of the Friday the 13th movies? I've seen some of them, and they're okay. They're not my cup of tea. JT's Reborn says, hey, I'm going to see Tommy Wiseau this weekend. That's awesome. What question should I ask him? Ooh. Pick a question for Tommy Wiseau. If I had a question for him. Oh. Okay, I know this is weird, but if he has any props or scripts from The Room, I want to see an auction for that and see if people will actually buy that shit. Like, buy the football used by Tommy Wiseau. Buy the water bottle he throws. Like, that shit. Have an auction for that. I'd love to see that. That'd be great. Okay, I'm going to answer Stephen McKinney's question, The Edge. You keep asking me to watch The Edge. I will maybe take a look at it. I don't know yet. I'll have to see. But there's my answer. So, Celeste Heron says, Harry Potter reviews. You know, there's a part of me that wants to go back and look at Harry Potter, because I remember at least liking the first two. Even though the second one I know has first movie syndrome, where it pretty much repeats the first film again. But I remember I saw Prisoner of Azkaban, and I actually did not like it. And then I really didn't like Goblet of Fire. Order of the Phoenix and Half-Blood Prince I actually skipped. And then I saw Deathly Hallows 1 and 2. I liked the first one, I liked the second one, but I heard the first one hasn't held up. So for me, like, my favorite Harry Potter films would be 1, 2, and then the 2 parts of 7. But for me, yeah, like, Harry Potter movies I might take a look at, because I do want to get more into fantasy stuff, and review a bunch of stuff, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Narnia, Game of Thrones. There's a lot of stuff I do want to tackle at some point, because I have some opinions on those, because fantasy is a huge thing for me. Let's see here. Peter Benchley's The Creature. Have you seen it, and what are your thoughts on it? What Creature? Is that like a book? Because I really want to read the Jaws book, but I haven't read The Creature, so that's just me. The Edge is one of the best R-rated movies of the night. Yeah, a lot of people are telling me about The Edge. You know what? Is it on Netflix, Stefan? If it's on Netflix, I might take a look at it and do an opening night, if anything. If people really want me to take a look at it, I'll take a look at it. I think that'd be possible. I think one of my next opening nights, because I'm debating going to see it Wednesday, is Evan wants me to go see with him the new Dragon Ball Z Super movie, or the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, which I do want to see, and I wouldn't mind seeing it on the big screen. So maybe me and him will do that as an opening night as well, because there's a couple of video movies we want to talk about. Kevin Fitzgerald says, have I seen Mortal Engines? Not yet. I really haven't been able to get a chance to see it yet, but I do want to at some point. 13th Warrior. Okay, I did see that, and I did not like it. I thought it was boring. I mean, I just got off my Zorro kick, and I was really into Antonio Banderas and any action movies he did, and I saw it, and I'm like, this is boring. Maybe I'll have to take a look at it, because maybe I didn't really appreciate it when it came out. I mean, even if here's the thing, too, guys. If I do see Dragon Ball Broly, the Super Broly movie in theaters next week, I will probably have to skip out on a live stream. Which, if you guys are okay with that, if you want me to see the movie, that's fine. But maybe one of those, like, I'll post the review right after. That's essentially what I want to do. Let's see here. What's your thoughts on Carnosaur, and what are your thoughts on the new dinosaur, you or Tyrannus? Okay, I like the first Carnosaur, and I kind of like the second one. The other movies suck because they use nothing but stock footage, but there's part of me who maybe wants to take a look at the Carnosaur series. I mean, that alone deserves a remake. I think, like, Carnosaur really deserves a proper adaptation, because there's been so many knockoffs of that, it's crazy. So, but who knows? Hey Jack, I forgot to say it, but I wasn't able to go to Universal Studios Hollywood last month, which sucks. But I'm planning to go earlier this year. Good for you. Yeah, definitely check out Hollywood. My advice, Scylla, do the studio tour first, because that's the longest lineup. Do the studio tour first, and then go to everything else, because you'll really like the studio tour. Hell, I would recommend doing it twice. Do it on the left and then do it on the right. That's what I would recommend. Just so you can get the full experience. Kevin Fitzgerald said, "Have I seen the animated Lord of the Rings movies?" Yeah. Okay. I like the Hobbit. I like the Rankin Bass Hobbit. I really like Ralph Bakshi's Lord of the Rings. I think it's, like, in terms of dialogue, it's more adaptive to the book. And then in terms of Return of the King, I've seen bits and pieces of, but I heard 50-50 on. I disagree with you about the 13th Warrant. That's the thing. I haven't seen it since it came out in theaters, so maybe I'll have to take a second glance at it. I don't know. Let's see. When do you plan on doing your Power Rangers movie review? Personally, I liked it despite glaring issues, and I like to see your perspective. So, I don't want to give too much away on my Power Rangers review. I'm currently just finishing up the writing process, and we're gonna start editing and filming it soon. But you could expect that in March, because I missed out on reviewing it last year, and I missed out on reviewing it the year before when it came out. But now I'm finally getting to it, and you guys are really going to like this review. It's a pretty badass review. We've been pretty much working on it for probably about a year, essentially, is this Power Rangers review, which is funny how projects come up like that, but you'll be expecting that. What's my favorite Star Wars alien? Ooh, this is a toughie. I mean, I like Wookiees, but Wookiees are Wookiees. Everybody likes the Wookiees. I like whatever Shock T is. Whatever Shock T is, whatever alien she is, I like that species. That's a really cool species. They're cool. Let's see here. Hey, Jack, do you think the Spinosaurus should return and is the antagonist in T-Rex in Jurassic World 3? Yes. I want my Spinosaurus T-Rex rematch, goddammit, but I doubt we're going to get it. But let's see what happens. Wow, we've been going for already over a half hour. Hey, Jack, I played Dino Crisis True game, and you should try getting into it. It's like Carnosaur meets the rest of Dino Crisis, is that on Xbox or whatever? Maybe I'll check it out. I mean, I played Turok, and Turok was okay. But I haven't played Dino Crisis. Miss Junebee Film says, I think we need a new remake of Beowulf because our oldest story, and we haven't gotten a good film adaptation of one in 2007. You know what? I kind of liked Beowulf. I mean, I know it was confusing as fuck, but I thought it was a very epic film. But I don't know how you could do it. Like, I don't know who's going to top Zemeckis' version, which at first I was thinking, oh, this is like Polar Express. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ, it's violent as shit. Yeah, that was a weird film. Let's see here. Gavin Fitzgerald has a good question. How did I get an interview with Mary Gellerman, John Gellerman's widow? Okay, so this is funny. So, well, not funny, but the year John Gellerman passed away, I did a tribute video to him, just talking about a lot of what people don't know about him, or a lot of people are less informed about. And I got a comment from a person named Mrs. Gellerman. I was like, what's this? And she said, thank you so much for saying kind words to about my husband. And she wrote this whole thing saying how appreciative it was, that she doesn't get that often. So I was like, oh, shit. This is actually his wife. So I just said, you know, my pleasure. He's a great guy. My condolences, all that. And then found her on Facebook, and we just started talking. And I just said, you want to do an interview for my show? And she said, yeah, sure. So we did that for 85 Years of Kong. It went on without a hitch, and it was fantastic. I really appreciate doing that interview. Now, I am planning to at some point do more interviews, because there's a couple people I do want to talk to in terms of interviews and stuff that I think would be good for the channel. But of course, would you guys want to see more interviews with certain people in the business, or certain people that if I can get my hands on them, I can get them on here? If you guys would like to see that, let me know in the comments. That'd be great. But yeah, I'll definitely do more interviews. Let's see here. Hello, good old Jack. One question this time. Mine is Kong76 and Flash Gordon. What's your favorite Dino De Laurentiis feature? Yes, I know it's spelled Orca. Orca is my second favorite Dino De Laurentiis production. I think it's the best Jaws knockoff. It has a marvelous score by Ennio Morricone. Richard Harris and Charlotte Rampling nail the roles they're in. Great film. Check out Orca, or you can check out my review on Jaws Month if you go to our playlist. But great film. Spinosaurus did nothing wrong. Get over yourself, T-Rex fanboy. Well, that's just to quote Jeff Bridges in Big Lebowski. Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man. Love Jeff Bridges. I don't know if you guys saw the Golden Globes Sunday, but he got an achievement award, and they showed clips from '76, which I thought was really nice. It was really nice because we haven't seen that shit in a while. Let's see. What about Peter Pan reviews? Okay, this is interesting because I really like Peter Pan. I like the story and everything. There's part of me who wants to review at least two of the movies. I want to review Hook because I love Hook. That's my personal favorite. And I do want to review one that's kind of, nobody talks about it anymore. Like, it's a movie that came out in 2003, 2004, and it was a huge hit. It got really good critical reception, but nowadays nobody even talks about it anymore or acknowledges it, and that's the 2004 Peter Pan with Jason Isaacs as Captain Hook. It almost is a prequel to Hook, and it really is a great adaptation of the story. I don't know why so many people don't even talk about it anymore. It's a great film. So maybe at some point I do want to discuss those two movies. Maybe at some point the Disney film, but I really like that 2004 Peter Pan. Plus, it introduced me to one of my favorite bands, Coldplay. Yeah, I like Coldplay. Coldplay is a pretty kick-ass band. Very, very, what do you call it? Just calm music, very kind of tone music that kind of puts you in a like very calm meditation mood, as I put it. Oh yeah, that Pan movie sucked. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. I wouldn't touch that with a 39.5-foot hook. Yeah, fuck Pan. Oh my god. Bad form, Peter. Bad form, Pan. Oh fuck. Oh god. Yeah, and John Williams, that's one of his best scores is in Hook. I was listening to some of it the other day, the bit where the kid's like touching Robin Williams' face is like, oh, there you are, Peter. It really hits you emotionally, that score. I love it. And you know what it is, too, with Hook? The movie came out in 1991. I like to consider it the last fantasy film of the 80s. Because it is, a lot of people, like, yes, it was a 90s film. But it really felt like an 80s fantasy movie up there with, like, Labyrinth and Legend and Dark Crystal. It felt like that. So I like to consider Hook the last hurrah, the last final bow for 80s fantasy movies. It felt like that. Like, go watch it again, and watch it back-to-back with something like Labyrinth or something like Legend or even Willow. Like, watch them back-to-back. You'll get that vibe as, like, this being the last 80s fantasy movie. So that's how I can describe Hook also as an adult perspective. It had that feel, which is great. Let's see here. Yeah, let's see. Would you review the Three Musketeer movies, Robin Hood, and King Arthur movies? Okay, so again, at some point I do want to get into fantasy and more medieval films. There's a part of me who wants to review a lot of the Robin Hood movies, like probably the Errol Flynn film, the Disney film, Costner, Brooks, of course, and of course the 2010 film, because I actually really like Ridley Scott's Robin Hood. I thought it was a very more historically accurate piece to the mythology. It was more historically accurate what happened. Most people christened it as Robin Hood Episode 1, The French Menace, which you get that vibe, but I really liked it. And yeah, I heard this year's one. It sucked so goddamn hard. And you know what? I wasn't on board with it from the beginning. You want to know why? Because it gave me Three Musketeers 2011 flashbacks, which is Three Musketeers 2011 is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. One of the worst. It is. I sat through that in theaters, and I was so pissed off I sat all the way through, because I wish I had walked out and said, I want my money back. This movie's a piece of shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fuck Three Musketeers 2011. It's garbage. Garbage. Fuck that movie. Jesus Christ, you're already coming up with episodes. You know what? Maybe at some point I'll take a look at that, because I do like the Peter Pan mythology, and I would like to take a look at some of those down the road. Who knows? Maybe around 2021. It was like the 30th anniversary of Hook. I'll take a look at that. Who knows? I got a lot of stuff planned. But Hook is definitely something I do want to tackle. Oh, Gavin, no! Gavin, get away! Get away from Three Musketeers 2011. It's fucking terrible. It's fucking terrible. Oh my god, don't do it, Gavin. Go watch the Tim Curry one. Go watch the one with fucking Chris O'Donnell and Charlie Sheen and fucking Keepers Owen. The one with Charlie Sheen is better. It's so much better. Don't watch that piece of shit. Oh god. You poor man. Oh. Duelist, I heard, is a good movie. That's one maybe I'll take a look at too. I want to maybe review By the Sword as well. That's a movie I want to take a look at. Hope I review 1 Million Years BC. That is on the list this year, Ike Studios. That is on the list this year. We will be reviewing 1 Million Years BC because we do also want to get into some Harryhausen movies. That is definitely on the list. I do want to discuss 1 Million Years BC. That'll be the first big Harryhausen movie that we get into. Maybe after that we'll do Valley of Guanji. Maybe we'll do some of the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. There's a couple on there I do want to discuss in terms of the Harryhausen movies. So, okay, yes, I get it, Steven. You want me to take a look at The Edge. I will take a look at it. I will take a look at it, and I'll do an opening night on it, okay? Let's see what goes on. If it's on Netflix, I'll watch it. But holy crap. Aren't you answering me? What's your question, Huey? What's your question? Just out of curiosity. I might have missed it. Holy crap, we are slow as fuck. Give me a moment, we're having technical problems. Jesus Christ. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're back up to speed. When I was 8, when I saw Three Musketeers, I have a different viewpoint in you. It's not good, but it's not good. Okay, that's fine. If it's a guilty pleasure, that's fine. That's understandable. When's my next episode going to be released of the reviews? You can expect that. That's my page. Would you just no. I do not want to be depressed when reviewing a movie. Maybe, I don't know, but it's not something I think is appropriate for me to review. Let's see. Corn dog challenge, you in or not? No, I will not do the corn dog challenge. I actually don't like corn dogs. I really don't like corn dogs. I think they're nasty. I do like hot dogs though. Also listed all the Peter Pan movies you could review. That's a possibility. No promises. But I'll put it in the idea box. I'll put it in the box of ideas. I should actually make that. I should just make a big a shoebox and put little pieces of paper in it that have ideas and just put them in there. And if we're bored and we can't figure out what the hell we're gonna do, we're just gonna shuffle through all this shit and pick one and be like, that's the one. I think I should do that a couple times. That'd be a cool idea. Kind of have a random box, essentially. Oh, also, we're going to put out a new episode of The Prop Shop soon. I'm currently filming it, and I'm currently doing it, and it will be on a certain sci-fi prop that you guys can make on your own, so look forward to that. What's my favorite Stephen King movie? It. Love it. Love Tim Curry. I haven't seen the new one yet, but I will at some point want to see it, but I just love Tim Curry, as everybody has pointed out. Excuse me, sir. Do you have Prince Albert in a can? Do? Well, you better let the poor guy out! Wah-ha! 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 Fucking love that movie. Yeah, we all float down here, Georgie. We all float. These cans, they all float. Oh God, such a good movie. What are your favorite animal horror films that scared me? I'm not one for, well, it depends. Is it like killer animal movies, or is it like animals on animals? Because I'm not a fan of animal dying movies at all. I think for me it was probably Jaws is the one that scared the crap out of me. It's one of my favorite horror films, one of my favorite movies in general. But that's just me. I'll have to take a look at it, Steven. I will see what I can do about that. Okay, I answered your question. I am going to do. I will maybe at some point do the Peter Pan movies. I will at some point do the Peter. I don't know yet. But I'm not going to do the corn dog challenge. Not in. Sorry, buddy. Not my thing. But yeah. Let's see. The Champ 9. Oh God, the Champ. Oh God. Oh, I vaguely remember that movie. I think I only remember Opie and Anthony mentioning it at some point. It was me. I said I'm not doing the corn dog challenge, Huey. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Not my thing, man. Not a fan of corn dogs. No offense, man. Let's see here. What's your thoughts on the Acapithosaurus? I can't even read half these dinosaur names nowadays. I'm getting old, people. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that looks like. Inuyasha Dinosaur 101, if you want to send me a picture of it through Facebook, yeah. And while we're at it, plug-in time! If you guys want to send us letters or questions on stuff, of course, send it to this address, BigJackFilms, P.O. Box 326, Queensville, Ontario, L0G1R0. We love hearing from you guys in terms of letters, gifts, cards, whatever. Definitely do that. It'll be great if you guys want to send us stuff. Oh, Gavin has a great question. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up because one, we're lagging as fuck, and two, I do want to wrap this up and get. Gerald, I take the fifth minute, First Night with Sean Connery as King Arthur, and I forget who the hero guy is. Great film, great drama, great love triangle story, which you get with everything. Great final battle, great set designs, and you know what? Something I do want to point out about that film, about First Night, it feels kind of small in terms of the castle, right? You see those Lego castles behind me that are in the blue? There's like the old Lego Knights Kingdoms from 2000 that were made back in 2000 with like the Lion Knights and the Dragon Knights. Am I the only one who thinks they took influence from First Night? Because that is Lego First Night. Fucking love that movie. That is a great King Arthur movie. Great score by Jerry Goldsmith. Great sword fighting by Bob Anderson. I do want to maybe take a look at that at some point, but I love that. Other ones I like Excalibur, even though it's confusing as hell, it's a little too dark for my taste, and it's a little over the top acting. I don't know if Monty Python the Holy Grail is considered a King Arthur movie. I know it has Camelot and shit, but one of the funniest films ever made. I love Monty Python the Holy Grail. I like Quest for Camelot. I thought Quest for Camelot was a fun movie. I saw it in theaters. I saw it countless times on home video. Although, to be fair, is it me or does King Arthur look like Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi? I don't know why. He just looks like Obi-Wan to me. But I love Quest for Camelot. And then, probably my hands down my favorite next to First Night, I really love Dragonheart. Now, you're probably thinking, what does Dragonheart have to do with King Arthur? Well, think about it. It kind of takes place like 100 years or so after King Arthur died, after all, like the Knights of the Round Table are no more. So you gotta think about this. The Knights of the Old Code, those are the descendants of Arthur's knights. So I did like how they expanded on that mythology. Plus, the fact that Sean Connery is in another King Arthur movie as a dragon, as Draco, the Great Draco. Oh, it's such a great film. Great score, great production value. Fucking love Dragonheart. Fuck the sequels, though. The sequels are shit. But, God, I love the first Dragonheart. And hell, I like to think that Sean Connery as Draco is basically King Arthur reincarnated as a dragon. Holy shit, that would be a great little kind of like conspiracy theory film thing. That you connect First Night with Dragonheart. Great movie, great set of King Arthur movies. I love them. That answers the first question. Let's see here. Holy shit. Holy crap. We got a lot of stuff coming up. Okay, let's see. Let's see. What would you say is the scariest horror movie of the 90s? For me, it's Candyman. How about you? Ooh. Horror movies back in the 90s. Well, honestly, like, really in the 90s is when horror movies really kind of sucked. But I'm trying to think. I can't say horror, but I'd say the best monster movie, like featuring a horror iconic monster, was probably The Mummy in '99. That's my personal favorite. But scary. It'd probably be like something like Wes Craven's New Nightmare or Scream. But even then, those are almost comedies, in a sense. God, that's tough. I can't really think of one. Okay, we are down to our final question. Let's pick one out of the bunch. Let's see. Hold on, let me think. Let me think which one I want to answer. Let's see. Thank you for the comment, Valentin. That's great. Okay, choose wisely. Okay, Matthew B. Lehman has a question. Could I review The Beast from 20,000 Phantoms? Once I break into the Harryhausen movies, I will definitely take a look at it. The first one will... I did technically review one Harryhausen movie, and that was Mighty Joe Young back in the first season. Holy crap. But I do want to take a look at more Harryhausen movies. 1 Million Years BC is the first one of this year. And then I'll decide what I want to do after. I want to do them in the order from, like, my favorite to least favorite. So I'd probably want to take a look at something like, after 1 million, I'd probably take a look at something like Valley of Guanji, possibly Beast from 20,000 Phantoms, Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. I want to take a look at all the Harryhausen movies at some point, because I think he does deserve more attention. But, yeah, that's just me. Those are just kind of what I would do, what are next in terms of Harryhausen films. But yeah, guys, that's it for this live stream. Thank you all so much for coming out. If you guys would like to support the channel and help us out, help us pay for our budgets and everything, link down below to our Patreon. You can support us there. You'll get rewards with it. You'll get to request stuff for opening night. And plus, if you donate a lot, you can maybe request a movie review in the style of the Big Jack Film reviews. But yeah, we're always looking for any kind of support for our stuff. You can mail us at BigJackFilms, P.O. Box 326, Queensville, Ontario, L0G100. We'd love to hear from you. Letters, gifts, whatever, donations, whatever you'd like to send us, feel free to send it to us. But again, thank you all so much for joining us. Tune in tomorrow, and you will see a reissue of our Jaws The Revenge review, because it got flagged for copyright, and now we've had to re-upload it. And then Friday, you will see a opening night for a particular film that just came out on Netflix. So, of course, if you guys have any extra questions, post it in the comments below. And until the next video, guys, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. This is Big Jack Film signing off, and I'm Batman.